Hey, welcome back to the channel and welcome to Tariff Land, the place where none of us wanted to be, but here we are. Listen, wrote a great piece this morning on Substack. It's over under Jeff Donaldson. As well, we got a podcast dropped on Inside My Canoe Head, the #2 preparedness podcast online about Tariff Land, opportunities in chaos. Because listen, none of us wanted this to occur, but here we are. Now, I got to ask you a really important question. It's all about your emotional state. People are absolutely losing it online, apocalyptic. The smartest, most intelligent people within almost every different field are online talking about the apocalyptic and cataclysmic outcomes that are going to occur as a result of somebody making a political or economic decision. Guess what? Welcome to Stoic Philosophy 101. One of my favorite books on the shelf beside me there is Ryan Holiday's Daily Stoic, and it talks about the dichotomy of control, right? Let's be blunt. Everything that happens basically fits into one of two baskets. Basket number one, we control and we influence over. Through our actions and through our deeds, we have the ability to influence this set of outcomes. Everything else that happened is over here in the other bucket, the one that we have no control over. So we ask you, why are you and everybody else out there losing your emotional shit over what somebody is doing out there? Like, I'm dead serious, right? In a realistic perspective, I get that you don't like it. None of us wanted this to happen. Welcome to Tariff Land. Here we are. So is your appropriate use of your intellectual capacity to sit here and write a whole bunch of things about how the baboon got out of the zoo and is running the show? How does that change things? Nothing. It makes you feel good. My point here is, and the point that I wrote on the Substack is, yes, we're all emotionally charged. Yes, we're all angry. But guess what? This is the world you're in. You've chose to live in a country that changed its government, or I chose to live in a country here where our circumstances are changing beyond our control, right? It's my responsibility on a personal and on a professional level to understand the environment in which I now live, to figure out how it's going to influence my personal, family, and professional strategy. And if you don't have one, we can help you with that. The point is I need to understand how everybody's actions that I don't control will influence how I want to pursue my dreams, what I'm after in my business. I'm an entrepreneur. I own a small business I'm trying to grow. We have international clients across the U.S. border. I had to develop a strategy to deal with that. I didn't wait until tariffs were dropped to lose my crap and then try to figure out what to do. I figured out that this would probably be a likely outcome in September when it looked like Donald Trump was going to win that election. When he got elected, that was a shining light in the sky to anybody who owns a business anywhere in North America and arguably around the world, that stuff was about to dramatically change, and it was your responsibility to come up with a strategy. So when he rolled into office at the end of January, and he's only been in 5 weeks and it's a bull in the china shop, and you're acting surprised and you're somehow shocked about what's going on, I'm sorry. Being shocked is okay. Not being able to deal with it and allowing these decisions to influence your ability to earn an income or how your company earns an income. The world, it's unfortunate, but you should have seen this coming. This is what we talk about at Preparedness Labs Incorporated, the parent company of our podcast, Inside My Canoe Head. We talk about risk mitigation strategies. You need one for your family and you need one for your small business. And if you're not a business owner and you work in an industry, you have a profession, you earn an income somehow, what's going on in that industry and how is that industry likely to be influenced by decisions that, again, are beyond your control? And again, I'm sorry, nobody cares what you think of it. Nobody really does. The point being is people are changing the rules of the game. People are changing the environment in which you live, right? I don't care if you like it. Here you are. If you want to be successful, you have to first mitigate against risk to lessen the impact of those decisions. But then if you really want to be influential, if you really want to do something cool, you have to find the silver lining. And I wrote about this on the Substack. There are incredible opportunities in chaos, right? Absolutely unquestioned. Look at the beginning of the pandemic, right? How many great really intelligent people doing wonderful work at healthy companies lost their job or got furloughed for a short period of time, sitting on their couch? How many of us just sat around and waited for things to change and go back to normal, right? Masks were in, masks were out, and then they were finally, you know what? Everybody needed a mask. A bunch of people made millions of dollars in 30 days by creating a drop shipping mask business where you could customize a non-medical mask that would be acceptable around the world, that you could wear and would have something, your image, your saying, your tartan, a Nova Scotia tartan because I'm a good blue noser, whatever it may be. People made millions. They looked at society around them. They realized that a new set of needs were emerging and they went after it. And I don't just mean entrepreneurs. I'm not saying y'all got to start in a business here. I'm saying, what profession are you in? How do you earn your income? How is that likely to change? How are your customer businesses? Because everybody is a B2C or a B2B, right? You either serve a customer or you serve a business. Even if you're a nurse in a hospital, your industry is likely to be impacted. How is it going to be impacted? Is it ready to be impacted? What strategies you could come up with to help your home country and make a difference in lives. And guess what? That helps you because that keeps the likelihood of you earning an income to a higher degree. And if you're entrepreneurial, it gives you the opportunity to say, hey, listen, I see that the stuff that we import in my line of business, it could be carpentry, it could be electrician, etc. We import it from the United States of America. It's going to become 25% more expensive. You should have, and I'm being dead honest with you, you should already have your Canadian and other international suppliers secured long before these tariffs even were brought into place. This should have been something you've done in the fall, if not at least in January. So you're sitting here now when the tariffs are finally imposed on Canadians. You just flip a switch and you go to the alternate source. The contracts are done. The arrangements are done. You're ahead of everybody else because you were thinking. The point being, and I gave a great example on the podcast this morning, talking simply about the electrician. Imagine electrical supplies, right? You're an electrician who works for independent and you support other businesses. You work on projects or you do local repairs. And you're a Canadian, right? You're a good Canadian electrician. And you said to yourself back in January, this is likely going to happen. If these tariffs come down, I got to be ready to go. What do I import from an American product? Can I get a Canadian replacement product? Can I advertise myself as only 100% Canadian supply chain? Demonstrate proof to my customers. I'm going to build a whole bunch of social media and paid advertisements, have them in the bank, have them ready to go. So when today, on the 4th of March, when those tariffs were dropped, that electrician launched a social media campaign differentiating themselves against everybody else by doing nothing more than preparation. That's where the opportunities exist in the chaos. You can sit there and have an ideological, emotionally driven meltdown about the state of the world around you, or you can have your short little pity party, stand up, figure out first how to protect what you have, and then how do you find the opportunities? Because a lot of people are going to earn a great deal of money in the middle of this disruption. Why not you? And at least don't be somebody who's going to lose a great deal during this disruption. Opportunities are up to you. Thanks for joining us. Listen to our podcast, Inside My Canoe Head. It's available on all platforms over at InsideMyCanoehead.ca. And if you're looking for risk mitigation, drop over to preparednesslabs.ca. We've got everything for you. Take care. We'll see you next time.